Good morning. Good morning. I'm a couple of minutes early.
This is Mia. She wanted.
But I wanted to make sure things were set up right, so I've had instances where I have not had things set up correct, and it took us a while.
Couple minutes early.
There we go. Yep. Mic's working, camera's working. Let me get this set up correct. Good morning. How is everybody? I'm going to wait just a couple of minutes. I'm going to work on this. We are going to do a study of Clara Peeters' work. Peeters is spelled with 2 E's. I'm trying to make sure I have all these lines set up correctly. She was one of the first women to really be taken seriously as a painter. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and just rip all this. I kind of know where it's at. Let's just tone all of this. What I'm using are oil paints. They're Gamblin's 1980, which tend to be what I prefer these days. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, there is an image of where I got this at. Let's see. You'll have to excuse me. I believe this is called... Oh, there goes the siren. Two loaves and something else. I'll find it here in a minute. It was something very generic. But she was born in 1588. So she's been gone a while. Ooh, get back over here. I'm just going to draw this out sort of with my brush. What I'm focusing on, she was mostly known for her skill in painting glassware and having them just look so realistic, and the transparency being almost magical. So what I want to do, if you look at the one that I have on here, up over here, if you look on the far right, there is a goblet, I guess you would call it, that looks like that. That's what I want to be working on. This here, I've got the usual things on my palette. I've got titanium white. She probably would have used lead white. Cad yellow medium, yellow ochre, alizarin crimson. I'm drawing a blank. I can see the tube. Here, let's see. Cad red. And then this is burnt umber, and this is a black And then this is an ultramarine blue. This green here, if you can see it, it was left over from a previous painting. I think it was last week's. What I want to do here is just kind of mark out where things are at. You may have noticed I'm doing this a little bit later because usually I do this at 11, but I'm doing it at 12 because I had an appointment. And I don't know what that is. I must have dipped it in blue. Anywho's, let me get this sort of monochromatic little underpainting here. And this is a study. I always need to remind myself because I will try and get it exact. By the end of it, and we don't want it exact, do we? No, this is a study. There's a ball there, there's a ball there, and there's a squished ball in there. Let's see if we can find out some more about her while I do this. There's no surviving baptism record for her, but art historians place her origins in Antwerp based on the style and province of her paintings. See if we can get those equal. Women were rarely admitted into guilds at this time, so her training has led to some speculation, educated guesses. She never officially joined the Guild of St. Luke, which was the Painters Guild, but her skills suggest that she trained in a professional workshop of some sort. I think I am going to do that bread back there too. Usually I don't break it down to such a small section of a painting. I'll do like the head if it's a full body, but and I kind of hoped to have this already accomplished before I started filming today. But I didn't get back from the doctor's appointment until about 30 minutes ago, maybe. The paintbrush that I'm using is a Rosemary & Co. It's a round and it's an aught. It's a 0. I do have more information on what she would have used for her palette. Scholars speculate, though, that she may have studied under Osseous Bert, excuse my pronunciation, an Antwerp painter known for still lifes because her early work resembles his. Just going to try and chisel in that. And all I'm using at this point is mineral spirits to thin the paint, because I don't want to make it too heavy. You might be able to hear my dog snoring in the background. Excuse me. I'm just filling this in with the burnt umber. Burnt umber and ultramarine blue make a wonderful black, or a black substitute, I should say. Her earliest known signed work was in 1607, which means she would have been, let's see if she was born in 88. Is that what it said? Yep, 88. These are notes I took quite a while ago, so. She would have been 12, 19. She would have been 19 when she signed her first work. She signed at least 39 paintings, far more than most women of her era desired to do. Or I should say were able to do. Her works were collected in both Flanders and Holland, indicating she had cross-border recognition. Which is very interesting. But I assume that would be much like US and Canada as far as like the arts today. My dog is really snoring over there. He doesn't like to be separated from me. And I had that doctor's appointment. By 1620s, her paintings appear in inventories of wealthy collectors in Antwerp and in Amsterdam. And my dog's still snoring. Yep, that's my dog back there. This is sort of, that's shadowed there. Let's kind of bring that in. Bring that in. I think that got that. When it comes to marriage and her personal life, things are a little unclear. We don't know for sure if she was married. If she did, records maybe under her husband's name, which was common for the time. After the 1620s, there are no known works or references of her. But I do believe later I have it written to where there is a marriage nearby, but they don't know for sure if it's the same one. Let me remark these. I know I'm not giving them much curve here, so. Just because they just weren't sure. Now the colors that I'm going to use on this will be a lot of like yellow ochre, burnt sienna, little alizarin crimson. Like right here is that's the top of the. Right now I'm just trying to get things situated so that we know where. Now see, that has a. I think I got these too far. Because if you look at it, it's got the gold here, then a thing, then gold here, and then there's something in between there. We'll push those down. About 40 paintings of her survived today. Almost all of them are still lifes. She's considered a pioneer of the still life genre, especially for women artists. My dog, I'm letting him snore like that because he had a rough morning. He doesn't like to be separated from me. Scholars think she may have died young or stopped painting due to marriage or social expectations. She's considered, I think I already said that, she's considered a pioneer in the still life genre. Especially for women artists. Yes, I already said that. Be patient with me here while I have not painted since last week. I have been on a, I don't know if I'd call it a block, maybe a little burnout. Okay, that's there. That's there. That we need. That's the golden. Let's go ahead and put some yellow in here for the. Just for my own mental note here. This is just laying in the underpainting, the base colors. That would have been that. There's more yellowish red there and in between there. In between there. Down here we have a pretty good space. And then it starts the scalloped areas. Okay. Now that I've got those sort of placed. I'm just doing this for my own. I am in Kansas, if anybody's wondering. It's really nice out today. As I'm filming this, it's September the 22nd, 2025. This will be available for replay. Plus, I tend to, well, I'm going to do a time lapse. And a short that will have the process on it. It's a yellowish in there. Brownish over here. I got some new paint sticks over the weekend, or over since last week, and I almost started using them because I pulled out some new ones on my own. I really like them. The whole drawing aspect is just let's see. Her focus was on banquets, flowers, and tableware connected to Antwerp's thriving trade and culture of display. So I take that to mean this, it was kind of them showing off their wealth. So I got it, let's flaunt it. Her, let's see, her reflective self-portraits, you can sometimes find them in the highlights of these. I did not find one in this one, but that doesn't mean that they're not there. It may be I just have not looked close enough. And I've been mainly focused on this goblet area. So I'm still sticking with just mineral spirits for the medium. If I use medium, regular medium, it's usually walnut oil, or sometimes I've used poppy seed oil, but usually it's walnut oil. and it extends the dry time is why I use it, because I really like working wet and wet. And it keeps it wet longer. She lived at a time when women's opportunities in the arts were extremely restricted. She carved out a space for herself through technical brilliance, a sharp eye for luxury and detail, and by literally embedding her image into her art. I did not look at her signature on her work. I wonder, I'll have to go back and do that. I have a reference image right there on an iPad, but it's just of this. Yeah, that needs like an orangey, doesn't it? As I said, she was born in 1588. She died, it says after 1621, so that, yeah. It's like they're not sure from my research. It's like, because they are not sure if she was married, they have a hard time following their records from back then. You might be hearing my clock too. This kind of like looks like a, is it tea bag type? Yeah, looks like one of his, like a dessert in the middle. Only it's got a dark background. She was one of the first artists to focus almost exclusively on still life. Sorry, I had to get a drink. She painted goblets, gold and silver vessels, bread, cheese, flowers, and glassware with exquisite detail. She was especially known for her ability to capture reflections and textures. Glass, metal, food. That was my stomach. She paid strong attention to light. She used highlights and reflections to make objects pop off of the dark background. I'm cutting out the, well, maybe I should go ahead and put it there. The jug that's on there, I've cut it off. But maybe I'll put it back in there. Because this is a study, I can pull out what I want to. And just focus on that for educational purposes. I'm taking a moment here to see what I did with my mirror. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, I mentioned the title of it earlier, that I thought it was cheeses, and yeah, it's Still Life with Cheeses, Almonds, and Pretzels. So that is what the entire thing is. This is just a portion. Still Life with cheeses, almonds, and pretzels. So this is the detail. And this is the entire image. Let me make that a little bigger so that there we go. So that's the entire image. A little smaller. There we go. And you can see that the glass is on the far right there. Just a reminder of what part of the painting we're working at. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Her style was careful realism with a soft, luminous atmosphere. I can see that. I can definitely read that in her pieces. She paid strong attention to light. Oh, I hope that doesn't become a... Sorry. I had my notifications off on my phone, but I don't have them off on my iPad. So if we get to hearing too many beeps, I'll shut that off. She used highlights and reflections to make objects pop off the dark background, as I said before. She balanced rhythmic compositions, lots of diagonals and symmetry to keep the viewer's eye moving throughout the canvas. She helped establish the tradition of Dutch and Flemish still life painting that would later flourish with painters like Pierre Claus and William Klaus Heyde. And sorry if I butchered that. She likely used a palette that was similar to her contemporaries, which was a restricted one. They didn't have a lot of the same colors that we have today. They had to, if you're not aware, I think I'm going to leave it with the dark background. If you're not aware, they had to mix their own paints. They had to go buy the pigments. Blue pigments and purple and reds were very expensive to get. And then they had to, usually their assistant or themselves would grind the pigment into an oil base and create the oil paint and grind it. And today we're lucky that we have such a wide variety of colors. Well, I guess it could be seen as a hindrance too, because sometimes it can be overkill. Sometimes a simple palette can make the most interesting paintings. Her palette was most likely lead white, lead tin yellow, vermilion, Red Lake or Madder, M-A-D-D, D as in Dawn, or Cochineal. That looks still, it's not still centered, is it? Right there's the center. And if right there's the center. Right there's the center. Let me scoot you over, bud. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I thought I was gonna sneeze. Red Lakes for Madder to the ochres and umbers, azurite or ultramarine, and bone black. And bone black is just like what you think. There is a wonderful, I think it's Becca here on YouTube, that has some amazing shorts and videos on how pigments were made. I mean, she's a young lady. She's probably in her 20s. But she really does some interesting things with the origins of where these colors came from. And I mention her often because I just find her extremely fascinating, the information that she gives. Okay, let me get back to this. For Amber's Tumblr study, this one, she uses subtle shifts of warm tones, transparent golds, oranges, and browns to suggest the thickness of the glass. There's tiny white strokes or yellow strokes to suggest a sparkle, and there's a distortion in the liquid that's inside of it. That's why what I'm using is yellow ochre, burnt umber, and burnt sienna. And then for the deep shadows, it's raw and burnt black. No baptismal record has been firmly linked to her. By 1612, she was signing her work. Some art historians think she may have been married, since there's a record of a Clara Peeters in Antwerp marrying around 1639. But there's no proof that this was the same person. Yeah. Sorry, my palettes. Excuse me. Okay. Yep, that's crooked. Or you can fix that. I know that the color that I'm currently putting down, excuse me, I've had this like cough thing all day. I don't know what's going on. I think it's allergies. Anywho, I know these have darker areas in them than what I'm putting down, but this is just from my own brain. So I know I've got them lined up correctly. It would have been great if I had a photograph to share of her, but I think that was a little after her time by a couple of 100 years. Oh, so this is dark. Okay. I got it backwards. Okay, let me see how this looks on your screen. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we have a very bad reflection, don't we? We are just going to have to work with it. I find it interesting that I was not familiar with her. I, of course, learned about the Artemis Gentileschi and a few other women from back in the day. But she is one that I was not familiar with until I started doing this. So that's one reason I wanted to do her in a study, is because it was fresh info for me. I don't know how blended I'm going to get this as close to hers. As far as brush strokes showing, because I've only got a couple hours. So I usually try and do these by within an hour or two. Get close. I tend to paint more painterly than what she's got on here. Come on. I started working on Q4 list of artists, and I really think what I want to do are ones that we've done before, but we want to look at a little closer, like the usual Sargent, Van Gogh, I don't remember, Thomas Eakins. I had not. I did one of, which was informative and educational. But I think I want to do another one. He had some amazing work, but I don't think he was a very nice man or a very good man. I'll put it that way. He definitely had some personality issues that see, now they're forming those balls up there like they should. Although you can't see it very well for the what I need is a big old piece of poster board right here. I have not watched the news or listened to the news since I got home, so I hope everybody is doing well. As I said, I'm in Kansas. Seems like in the U.S. there's something new every day, multiple times a day. Let me see. I don't think that'll stay up there. No. Yeah, it was a thought. Painting is really what I needed today. Like I said, it's been a little bit, been a few days. So it's good to be back. Back in the studio. There's something. Come on, there we go. Now just keep slowly building this up as I can. Yeah, I really wish I could get rid of that highlight. There's got to be something that I can do. Whoops. Maybe if I just shut that off. I don't know why it's doing it. I'm painting a little later today than I normally do. So, and the background's black or dark. Let's see if that got rid of it. Yay! Woohoo! Do I hear a woohoo? Woohoo! That's much better. Okay, let's get back to this. What I did was I just shut one of my lights off, and there's enough ambient light, that it works fine. And before anybody asks, my doctor's visit was not for anything bad. It was just routine stuff. I'm just pausing here for a little bit to take in. This over here is definitely darker. It's got more of a reddish tone to it. We will get there. Oops, that's way too light, but we're gonna make it work, right? See if there's any more information on her that I had that was of use. Fun facts. This is literally listed under fun facts. She was one of the few female painters of her era that we know by name. If you live near Sonic, you know. If you know, you know. Her still lifes are not just decorative, they carried symbolism. Food and riches could remind viewers of transience and mortality. So, like the bread does not stay fresh and golden like it is here. It's going to age and not last forever. It right is 1 o'clock here, so we've been going at it for an hour, which is pretty good. We've got quite a bit done. And I realize I'm probably using too small of a brush, but right now, for some reason, that's just what's working. The paints that I got that I want to use, I'm sure many of you are familiar with them. They're just oil sticks. If you're not familiar with them, they are essentially oil paints in stick form, just like they say, oil stick. And I am really looking forward to using them. Like I said, I had some old ones that I started using on a painting, and I really enjoyed them. They just seem very there's not as much cleanup. If I can get down the basics of what I want with those, I think that will be a really good thing. And I'm still using just mineral spirits. I'm not using my walnut oil. In at least 4 paintings, her tiny portrait appears reflected in a goblet, showing her boldness in claiming authorship. And there's a little, like right here, there's a little something, but it's not her. It's not her. I think that's all the information that I have. Yep, that'd be all. There is a link in the description that leads to more information on her. So if that's something that you would like to have, it will. And I could be wrong, but I think it's at the Met. Right now, I'm finding these colors very muddy, and I need, yeah, they need a lot of work. Let's see what we can do here. Now let's start with the orangey in the goblet and see if we can get it more orangey and not so just kind of bland. I was going to listen to the announcement that was supposed to happen today. More out of curiosity than anything. I got a little bit much on there for that dark. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some blue, some ultramarine blue to this darkness back here, and it's going to make it darker. It's going to make it appear more black. And I hope it's going to help give us a little more contrast to build off of. Yeah, that makes a big difference. Like I said, burnt umber and ultramarine blue make a wonderful black option. They don't appear as flat as a black will look either. Let's see what that does to it. Yeah, that helps. Okay, let's do that some more. Oops, got a little close there. Well, my dog stops snoring. He's okay. He just quit snoring. He went back to his old spot. Seems I got big plans for today. Gonna do anything exciting? Just to remember, just a reminder, this is a study, not a copy. I'm just scooching that bread down a little bit so it doesn't. It's more like down here. Yeah, I know that's too light. Yeah, it's still like right here. Let's see. There's a pause between mine and what shows on your screen. There's a time lapse. So I'm just pausing every once in a while to see what I've got, how it shows up on yours. Because it gives me a whole new perspective. Oops, getting stuff on my arm over here. So I'll just keep working away at this and trying to get the values and colors and all closer to what we see in the original as much as I can without going so far as to have it a copy. It's interesting. Anyway, for Q4, I want to do ones that people are more familiar with. That when they see the name, they're like, oh, yeah, that guy, or that woman, that person. How did they do XYZ? Oops. I've had trouble with white not drying as quickly as I would like. So I'm trying to keep away from putting too thick of a white on there. Yeah, that looks sideways, doesn't it? We can fix that. Most of it is just a matter of time, taking it away, putting it back. A little too much, a little too less. And trying to find that happy medium. Or close to it. That just, yeah. Come on. Glass is not really that difficult if you just break it down, just like you would anything. To shapes and colors. Values. And I have to keep reminding myself, like usual, that this is a study, not a copy. Let's get the bottom of the gold round on. I must say I much prefer doing other subjects than this one. That seems not. This isn't my favorite subject. Put that way. Okay, that's not perfect, but it's getting down to it's getting the shape anyway. Let's see. I do hope if you are in the United States that you are taking care of your mental health. I'm in the U.S. And just doing what you need to take care of yourself. I guess that could be said for anybody, anywhere. Currently in the U.S., it's interesting. Let's see. Okay, that's the gold band. That's that. I think I'm losing track of what is where. I've lost a band in there. Because if this is the orange, there's those. Orange goes here. Make marks. Orange goes here. Then this comes down here. And the gold is in here again. And it just looks, I'm having trouble keeping track of what is where. I'm sure it's my ADD, but come on, give me a break. Looks like somebody in junior high school did it. At this point, anyway. Mine, I mean. Do, do, do. Oh, there's a helicopter going over. Usually those only go over when there's like a med vac or some sort. Really glad I shut that light off. These up here. Okay. I usually don't like working this tight. But that's how she did. So. And it is a study, right? Hello, Ziggy. How are you? Usually I don't start until, or I start at 11. And today I started at noon. I may start doing that all the time, because it gave me time to do some things that I needed to do. This, I think, needs to come down. Wish I had like a little blender, a little, just to kind of soften it. didn't get this as far up as I need it. So let's try and push it up a little bit. Again, I'm losing track of which one is which stripe. Where does it go? Where does it go? On the off chance that I don't get this done today, I will be back tomorrow to do it. I don't usually go to the next day. But I also don't usually do anything this tight. And then I started late. Oh, wow. That's awesome, Ziggy. Love your name, by the way, too. Now we got planes going over. Those that missed it, I'm in rural Kansas, so it's farm country. I don't know if I like this. Mine, that is. So Ziggy, do you paint with oils or do you paint with something else? Oil pastels. I was doing two oil pastels on Thursdays. I didn't do it last week. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep doing them. There seems like there's a big demand for them, but I'm getting too many irons in the fire. And I'm trying to decide what irons I want in the fire. By the way, I'm 61. It goes by fast. I need to do some acrylics too. I don't know. I really like oil pastels because you can come back to them. They're so portable. And no dust. I don't know. I get good numbers on analytics for my oil pastel tutorials. Or yeah, but I need work that is easily hung. Without the expensive framing. The framing kills me. Whereas I could paint on a canvas, and granted this isn't on a canvas, but but yeah, oil pastels. Oh. I love taking them out and about. They're really fun to like take in the car and take them somewhere and do plein air with, if you are lucky enough to be around where it's not 150 degrees outside. I mean, I know you can take a cooler with you, but to keep them from melting. But anywho's it's. I worry about even ordering them here in Kansas some months of the year, because I'm afraid they're going to melt before they get here. Yeah, it's after 2 o'clock. A lot of times I'm done by now. I am definitely not done now. I think this was actually more difficult than I anticipated. And my brain has not been on paint mode the last few days. Need to be using some complementary colors in here to get this. I'll try and get this center thing here. So I think I'm going to, my daylight is coming in from this direction through my window, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do much about it. And once it hits the paper, it's going to cause a pretty big glare. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this today. I don't know if my brain is going to cooperate. That's a bit much there. I have a clock ticking here, and I can feel a clock ticking. Usually I'm taking photos of it so that I can look at it and analyze it a little bit that way. But my phone is in the other room because it wasn't charged. So I will probably continue this tomorrow. The sun's creeping in here. I don't know if you can tell, but I'll probably do it in the morning. I'll have to do it in the morning or in the afternoon, late afternoon. Unless I change my schedule. I think I need to just do it in the morning. Unfortunately, I know that means that the numbers will be down. But sometimes I gotta do what I gotta do. I don't wanna, it wouldn't be fair to cancel my afternoon obligation for it. Uh, well, I have to see because I think more people come in the afternoon. Maybe I need to do it in the evening. I'm so decisive, aren't I? I'm just going to keep working till the sunlight says otherwise. I do these weekly. Each week is a different person. And there's a fairly long playlist of different artists. And I think pretty much all of them are set up with time lapse set to music and shorts. Because I don't know that everybody has time to sit through or the desire to sit through. A couple of hours. I don't usually promote things, but because we've got a decent amount of people here, I'm not affiliated with it at all, but Richard Smid, if you're not familiar with him, they're having a virtual workshop. He is no longer with us, but he leaves behind a strong legacy, and there is a virtual workshop coming up at the beginning of October. The reason I'm bringing it up is because it's only $35 to do it. And if you're somebody who's really into oil painting, it's not often you get to see him and these other people work for that type of price. It's much less expensive than you will usually find. His color theory is the main thing people, in my experience anyway, that people refer to. He had his students do these color charts that he had to do, and they're very informative, and they're going to be talking about that and some other things. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with it in any way. But if you're, I'm just thinking, I tend to watch my money pretty close, and I know I can't beat that. Beat it with the stick. For educational opportunities. Anywho, I came across it, was it last night or the night before? To get an idea, his books, has a few books out that he has published. And to get one of the books is about $150 US dollars. And this workshop is $35. So and if you're familiar with the Art Students League and Portrait Society of America, they very much talk about him, or are influenced by him. Anyway, I'm going to be taking it, so you can never get too much info. It's an opportunity in my mind to work with a master, or to see a master work. I'll try and thin some of this out too on here. Looks like the sun is going behind some clouds. So maybe. Right there, that's way out of whack, isn't it? Hi, Heather. What are you up to? What you doing? I am proceeding to murder this goblet. I don't think I'm going to finish it today. I don't have, the colors aren't right, and I don't have enough done. And the sun's creeping up on me. Two, three, four. I don't know. I honestly feel like I need to go over this whole thing. don't know, maybe I'm getting tired. It's just not happening today. Maybe I'm just talking myself out of it. This is where I need somebody to remind me it's just a study. It's not a copy. Yeah, that bread is not. Doesn't look like the bread I want. If this were my own, and I was doing it, I probably would take a fan brush to it and blend the whole thing out and start over on the details. Oh, okay. I see, Heather. I don't remember what I was talking about, to tell you the truth. It was either a Richard Smith workshop that they've scheduled. It's going for $35. Or it was how I'm not going to finish this. Because I don't know. I'm torn between just calling it today after I work on it some more, or taking another day. And I was going to take the fan brush and blur the whole thing. To start over on details. Because this needs to come in. And just FYI, my paints have been in the fridge for a week. And they're still Still soft. I didn't add anything to these at all on my. I don't know. Ooh, those don't work. Yeah, that didn't do it. I think her details are too much for me. I do not paint like that anymore. You know what? Just wipe that puppy out. And yeah, your eyes aren't deceiving. I wiped that all off. It just was not working. I don't want to see. It's a study. It's a study. Yeah, this is gonna bug me. And it's crooked. You see that? Hey Heather, is it a study? It's a study. It's a study. Okay, I'm gonna do this thingamajig here. That's right. Mm, 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 mm. It's a study. It's a study. See, these aren't. Even some of this out. I think the longest stream I've ever had was 7 hours. And that was a long time ago. But I'm not going to take 7 hours on this, mind you. That would be, I think, would definitely be overkill. It's a study. 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 Not a copy. It's a study. It's not a copy. Well, the sun hasn't come over here yet, but it could at any moment. Come on, baby. Get a little orangey in there. I'm going to go get my phone and make sure that there's no obvious things that I'm just not seeing with my eyes. She says as she keeps messing with it. Knowing it may be all futile if it looks wrong on my camera. There went the sun behind the clouds. It doesn't look like the other. I have not gotten up yet either. This time I've been here, I need to do that. I don't want to give the impression too that a study has to look exactly like it. So I need to cut myself some slack here. Okay, I'm gonna go get my camera, and then I'll be right back. It's just in the other room. I just realized a friend called me while I was in there too, or in here. I don't know what he called about. Hope it's not an emergency. Okay, he just wants me to call him back. That's cool. Okay. Let's see what I got here. What I'm doing is I'm just taking a picture of it. And then, ooh. And, whoops. It does not look close to how I want it to. I'm very unhappy with it. It looks topsy-turvy. It looks if you just look at that. It needs to be way down here. That's too far up there. It's all it's out of whack. Man, I really got it off. Wow. I'm sorry, folks. I did not have any idea it was that far off. Yeah, but wow, that was, oh, shoot. That was bad. That's bad. That's bad. Yeah, I'm going to modify. Here. Okay, that looks better. This looks like it's... I need to do work with my glassware. I'm going to leave those marks. I'm really hoping the friend that's calling's not saying, hey, do you have enough for a show over at wherever. Yeah, but Heather, this is bad. Like I said, it might just take me another day. I'm embarrassed. That's how bad it is. I think myself, I need to do this because if I got it that bad, okay, I think since I got it back to where it, my eclipses are closer to where they should be. I'm going to leave it set and come back tomorrow or the next day. I may wait till Wednesday because I obviously need the work on it. I need the practice on it. Even if I don't get it perfect, I have to do better than that. I think I'm just distracted today, too, between doctor's appointment and just life. That's my excuse anyway. Okay, I'm gonna quit there, but I am gonna come back to it another day. Because man, that's, like I said, I'm embarrassed at how poorly it looks. I mean, it's better now than it was, but just wow. I haven't even seen what it looks like to flip it. Let's see. Yeah, it still looks wobbly. Oops. I just hope my friend wasn't calling to say, hey, that study you're doing, it looks like shit. All right, I'm gonna quit looking at it. I see something else I need to do, though, with those top, the top ruffle thingies. Oops, I think I need to block them out too. Or blend them out. If I don't have the basic shape of these right, it's just not going to work. And I did not spend enough time just getting the basic shapes down. Let that be a lesson to me, huh? Okay. I'm going to I swear I'm going to put the brush down. you see how the shapes are so much better now? Than they were when I tried to put all the stuff on it. I tried to put this stuff on too early. I think I need to cut that. Okay. That gets me back to at least somewhere where I can build off of. So I will just consider this part 1 of this. There we go. Okay. All right, thanks for being here, y'all. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep the tape and everything on it the way it is because I need to come back and fix this. This is yeah, I apologize. I know not all of them can be winners. But wow. I'm really fighting with this one. And I've been at it for 3 hours. Usually I would be done. But I think what I need to do is come back with fresh eyes. And give it another chance. So I will see you all. As far as I know right now, well, if you want to see part 2, you want to see me actually finish this puppy, just watch for it. I'm either going to do it tomorrow morning or I'll do it Wednesday, or I have uninterrupted time. So, and again, I apologize. I should have been able to do it today. All right, thanks all. I will see you soon. And see, look at that. I mean, it's like, I'm sorry. This is just proof that it happens. It happens to all of us. And I think I've just gotten to the point to where I need to walk away and come back with fresh eyes. All right. Thanks all. I'll see you soon. Thank you for being here. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or anything, just feel free to put them in the comments. And I will see you all soon. Thank you again.